Why haven't you checked out the program called Hooked? You are obviously having trouble with meeting and attracting women. I am not saying that to put you down. I was in the exact same situation over 10 years ago. Okay, over 10 years ago, I had no idea what to say to girls to make them interested or how to flirt with them. So you got to get yourself on board as soon as possible and learn the proper steps and techniques on how to attract women. You don't have to be tall, good looking, or rich, none of those things, to be able to actually spike the emotions of a woman. So check out Hooked, getherhooked.com, link is in the description below. On this video, we're going to be diving into what it means to flirt with a girl who might not be as interested in you. I want to talk about this concept called calibration, okay? It's a little bit more of an advanced topic. Now, I'm not saying it's advanced like it's something that you shouldn't be using now. Like even if you're at beginner status, you can still do this. But what I'm saying is it takes a little bit more work to get good at this. It takes a little bit more of understanding how someone is feeling in an interaction. Okay, so let's get into this. This idea of calibration, I call this calibration. It's not a term that I've made up before. I've heard it from other dating gurus. But the way I use this in terms of how to calibrate to an interaction is you got to understand how a woman is feeling in an interaction. Okay, so a lot of guys, they'll go up to a woman, do an approach, maybe during the day, maybe at a bar, and they get this gut feeling, like they can tell, right? Because you're human, you're talking to another human, you can tell if the woman is interested in you or not, right? The signs that she's not interested, she's kind of looking away, she's looking at her phone, she's not giving you eye contact, she's not smiling at you, she's not giving you these kind of flirty signals. So if you're going over there and you're trying to hit on her or pick her up, or you're trying to say some sort of flirty line or a compliment or something like that, it's obviously not going to work, right? You don't want to start with going too sexual or too flirty if the girl isn't initially interested. So you calibrate, right? Which means you adapt to how she's feeling, and you got to kind of pick this up. And you're only going to pick this up, by the way, if you do a lot of approaches. That's why I talked about Hooked, my program, in the very beginning of this video, because that teaches you how to do all these approaches and get out there and beat your approach anxiety. So once you're doing all these approaches, you're going to understand how she's feeling in the interaction. Now, once you know how she's feeling, you're going to, this is calibration, you're going to know whether you can flirt more and kind of amp up the sexual tension, or if you need to kind of what's called get more comfort with her. You dial it back and you talk more about topics that aren't necessarily flirting with her and stuff that's more of like get to know you. And you kind of toggle back and forth between this flirtiness and get to know you, flirtiness, get to know you, and you go back and forth until you can ramp up the flirtiness when you see that she's showing more signs of interest, okay? Signs of interest being that she's asking you questions back, she's looking at you, she's facing you in conversation, she's laughing, she's smiling, maybe she's playing with her hair a little bit. When you get those kind of initial signs of interest, you can push it further faster, okay? So you don't want to kind of jump in too fast and be too flirty, because she's going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Who is this guy? What's happening? You're going to scare her off. You got to get to know her a little bit, okay? One thing, I'm also going to put a link in the description below, is to this thing called Chick Crack. It's a video, it's actually for free, you can get it for free, and what it is it's a video teaching you all the topics of conversation that women love. You might want to use that to start off to get things flowing with her, and then you can start flirting with her more. If you want to know, by the way, how to flirt, I got about 30 videos on this channel that teach you how to do that. So we're not going to go into the concept of flirting. Just understand that that concept is something that you dial up, dial down, dial up, dial down, toggle back and forth between to get her to get interested in you. So that's why this is sort of an art, okay? This is why this is something that isn't necessarily 100% logical, like if this then that. It's like you kind of got to go in there, use a little bit of intuition, which you already have, and understand how she's feeling, where then you can use the logic of, oh, I can tell right now All right, I'm feeling like she's not really so interested. Let's kind of dial it back a little bit. Let's get to know her a little bit. Let's come up with a fun conversation to talk about, wait, now she's showing a little bit more interest. Let me show a little bit more interest in her. Let me tease her. That's a flirting technique. Let me be a little bit more playful, okay? And then back and forth, until boom, you ramp it up to the point where you're super flirting with her. And at that point, you can maybe go for a kiss. You can take her around to a new location, maybe get a cup of coffee. If you guys are out about during the day, if it's at a bar, you take her to the bar, grab a drink, go somewhere else, go outside, whatever it is. You can even take her home if it escalates to that point, or at the very least get her number to see her another time. I hope I didn't overwhelm you here. I'm just gonna summarize this again. In order to flirt with a girl who's not so much interested, you're not sure, you gotta dial it back and go back and forth between comfort, comfort, and flirting. If you want to learn how to do enough approaches where you can be able to get this process down to a science so you're seeing actual results and meeting a lot more women, get the Hooked program so it can guide you along step by step and you can really understand how to put this stuff in action. Doesn't matter how old you are, well, at least you have to be 18, but it doesn't matter how much you're making or what you look like. There are techniques in this program that teach you exactly what to do to be able to pull the triggers of attraction and get her interested. So check it out in the description below. Let's hear a comment from you. I'll be in there talking to you as well. I hope you understand this, how we broke this down a little bit, and I'll see you on the next video.